find yourself in a frustrating cycle of bad habits, wondering if change is even possible? Well, by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to break free from those pesky habits holding you back. We all have aspirations, wanting to eat healthier, exercise more, or learn a new language. Maybe you've even succeeded briefly, but you constantly find yourself slipping back into your old habits. And every time you fail, you hate yourself even more. But here's the thing, you don't need to become a completely new person to break free. If you find yourself biting fingernails, eating late at night, or watching TikTok when you should be studying or working, I will tell you how to remove bad habits from your life completely by the power of science. How do I know the power of science works? Because I used to bite my fingernails, watch TikTok when I should be working, or eat too many sweets after lunch. But why are these habits so hard to break? Because you're fighting one of the most primitive structures in your brain. The basic nervous system of this is a base learning process. It's called positive and negative reinforcement. You see food, brain goes calories, which you need to survive. We eat the food, taste the food, then the brain goes see food, eat food, feel good, repeat. Trigger, behavior, reward. That's why when we feel sad, the brain goes eat chocolate or an ice cream, because it knows when we eat that, we feel better. So instead of the hunger signal coming from your stomach, we get this emotional feeling sad, that triggers the urge to eat. Let me give you another example. Imagine you're walking through a dense forest. It's very hard, it costs energy, and your brain hates expending energy. So, to make it easier for the brain, it creates a behavior path, a path you made in the forest. First, you will trample down some grass, making rough paths. Then, you will walk the same path often, and you have created a road, then the road becomes a street, and the street becomes a highway. Walking through the forest now feels familiar, comfortable, and effortless. Now, you continue to use them, and if you were to create another path, you'd have to start over. This is why change is so hard, especially when your forest is crisscrossed by lots of established streets and highways. You're familiar with the mouse experiment. The mouse starts at the start of a T-shaped maze, and to its left is a piece of chocolate. When the door opens, the mouse starts exploring the maze and eventually finds the chocolate. If you take a look at the brain scan, the mouse is curious throughout the whole process. After weeks of training, the mouse immediately goes to chocolate, and at this point there is very little brain activity once the gate opens. And the brain doesn't fire up again until it reaches the chocolate. Step 1 is cue, which for the mouse is opening the gates. Step 2 is a routine to run through the base. Step 3 is a reward, in this case it's chocolate. Our brain seeks to minimize effort and space, and this kind of automatic brain behavior is referred to as chucking. Chucking aims to create a new habit pattern in the cells of the brain. It's the tasks you do every day that you don't have to think about, like brushing your teeth, driving a bicycle, or jumping 2 meters in the air. Skills that were once difficult to master now become automatic. You need to know the difference between routines and habits. A routine is like a set of actions you do the same way every time because it worked for you. For example, making a smoothie the same way every day. Think of routines as plans made by a responsible person. It slows and thinks carefully about the future result. The responsible person knows what outcome you want and uses actions to get there, even if they might be uncomfortable, like taking a shower in the morning. As you keep doing routines over and over, they become habits. Habits are like actions that your brain finds rewarding, and you do them without really thinking, like brushing your teeth. As you keep doing your routines over and over, they become habits. Habits are like actions that your brain finds rewarding, and you do them without really thinking, like brushing your teeth. Triggers are things that start a habit, like a signal for your brain to do something. You already have triggers in your life. For instance, when your phone makes a sound, you instantly check it. When you enter a car, you automatically put on the seatbelt. Triggers can be simple things or situations that lead to a behavior or action. Your habits can be so entrenched that the reward doesn't even have to feel good. For example, every time you drink coffee, you eat a cookie. Now it's hard not to eat a cookie while drinking the coffee. Another example is you always go to the toilet with your phone to watch TikToks. If you try to stop that, you will get a really weird feeling and you will want that phone right away. My stupid habit is that whenever I sit on the toilet, I have to rip off one piece of paper and blow my nose. If I don't do it, I feel really weird. Remember when in school you thought wearing a specific pair of pants was cool? Brain will go wear pants, feel good, repeat. Trigger, behavior, reward. Each time you do this, we learn to repeat the process, creating a new habit. You repeat these actions even if they are bad for you. It's associated with an action demand to be repeated, giving birth to a bad habit. Let me give you 2 new ways to build new healthy habits and replace the old one. The first way is define a clear goal. Choose a goal like staying fit and break it down into simple, specific actions. Make the action so small and manageable that you don't have to think about it that much. Connect actions to triggers, like doing squats right after you wake up. Triggers are signals, often visual, that you associate with the action. For instance, place your workout clothes near your bed to trigger the morning exercise routine. Make it enjoyable. Many new habits lack the instant gratifications, so find ways to make them enjoyable. Incorporate pleasures during the activity, like listening to your favorite songs while you work out. Experiment to discover what works best for you. Consistency is key. Repeat these actions regularly until they become a seamless part of your day. Over time, they won't feel like a chore but a natural routine. Building habits in concept is simple, but very challenging in practice. Find what motivates and works for you to make the process easier and more enjoyable. The second way is embrace natural learning. Instead of battling your brain or forcing your attention, align with the natural learning process. Develop a genuine curiosity about your present experience. Take notice. If you want to stop wearing certain pants, use a curious approach. You can say that you don't like the design, they have holes in it, they are disgusting, dirty, and whatever. Move from knowledge to wisdom. You will now go from knowing that wearing those pants is bad for you to knowing it to your bones, and then the bad habit is broken. You will start to be disenchanted with the bad behavior. Now, you won't just magically stop wearing the pants, but over time, as you learn to see more and more, the results of our actions will let go of the old habits to create new ones. So you have to be curious, because being curious feels right. Your brain's smart part, the prefrontal cortex, helps you understand that too many sweets are a no-go. It works so hard for us to avoid a 3rd, 4th, or 5th cookie using what we call cognitive control. But when stress kicks in, the smart part goes offline and we tend to revert to old habits. Stress can make us say or do things we didn't mean. When the front part of our brain goes offline, we fall back into our old patterns. That's why you need to know the things to the bone so that you don't have to force yourself to hold back. Let me give you one more example from the book Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Duhigg habitually bought a cookie at 3:15 daily. The cue was the time, and the reward could be hunger relief, an energy boost, or a social interaction. Wanting to break the habit, he discovered he craved socializing more than the cookie. So he replaced it by chatting with a coworker for 10 minutes. For unnoticed habits like nail biting, identify triggers such as nervousness or boredom. Track instances of feeling bored and the urge to bite nails, which could be 3 or 50 times a day. Add a competing response like putting your hands in your pockets and substitute it with a similar physical action such as rubbing your arm or tapping on a desk. Understand your body's cravings. Use the same cue and reward with a new behavior, and be patient in building a new habit. Depends on various factors such as your goals, your personality, stress levels. Typically, it ranges between 15 and 250 days for the habit to become automatic when triggered. Getting started is the simplest part, especially in the initial week or 2. The real challenge lies in consistently doing it every day, but it becomes easier with persistence. Regardless of your age, you have the ability to change your habits. Now that you know how to create a new positive habit and break free from the old negative ones, click here to discover how to set goals for the next year that you'll actually achieve.